Hi, everybody. Welcome to Christian Homestead. My name is Jared. Well, tonight I was preparing a video, and in the middle of making that video, I started getting texts. I got one from Caitlin. She was sharing these pictures of the aurora in Utah that her sister was sending her. And I immediately dropped everything that I was doing and rushed over to the temple lot, which isn't too far from where I live. And I've been waiting for I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. I guess you could say ever since last year when we had those two aurora events that the entire United States was able to see, provided that it wasn't cloudy. But back then I lived an hour south of Wichita. And since that time, I've been watching these aurora forecasts, and there were a couple earlier this year, and I waited and watched and didn't see any aurora, but this time I got it. I got these pictures at the temple lot, and I did a live stream. I also made a video for my other channel called Explore Church Sites, so you may want to go watch that. But I was thinking to myself how I feel like I've had so many blessings lately over the last couple of years. Just my life has, it's gone up to the next level is what it feels like. And the thing about it is, I don't think it's just me. Let's go really quick back to the October 2022 General Conference. This is a talk by President Nelson called Overcome the World and Find Rest. And we've read this a million times on this channel, but please think about this, because I would like for you to share what you have experienced. And if you feel like this has applied to you, he says, "But my dear brothers and sisters, so many wonderful things are ahead. In coming days, we will see the greatest manifestations of the Savior's power that the world has ever seen. Between now and the time he returns with power and great glory, he will bestow countless privileges, blessings, and miracles upon the faithful." And for me, I feel like this was one of them. This was a very spiritual experience. I never anticipated that I would ever see anything like this in my life, but I did. And I was able to document it, and now I'm sharing it with you. And there's been so many things since that general conference that I feel for me are privileges, blessings, and miracles. And what I would like you to do, please, for me and for the benefit of everybody else watching, please put in the comments what privileges, blessings, and miracles you feel like you've received since that general conference, because I don't think that President Nelson was kidding. I have quotes from different people saying that he isn't given to hyperbole. He doesn't exaggerate. He means what he says. He chooses his words carefully. And I feel like I have seen it and experienced it because, I'm very conscious about my life. I think about the past and I go through my memories, and the last few years have been unlike anything else before. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same with you. So please think about everything you've experienced since October 2022. And as long as it's not too spiritual, please put it in the comments below. But for me, this was the most recent one. I try to get a good picture at the visitor center, but by this time it was starting to fade. But I'm really, really happy with this one because you have the red, pink, green, bluish colors, and you have both the Community of Christ temple and the temple lot. I'm very, very happy with this photo. This is incredible. So what I wanted to do is just share some more with you. Maybe to help spark your memory, for you to think back, because maybe, sometimes maybe we forget the different blessings that we've received, or we just kind of wave things off as coincidence. But I had something else happen recently, just like within this last week. I was at winter quarters with my family, and I was recording a video for Explore Church Sites. And once I got to the winter quarters temple section, because the winter quarters temple, cemetery, and visitor center are like all together. They're like um, right next to each other. And as I was walking to the temple, this lady right here was like, "Oh, Jared, hi." And I was like, "Oh, hello." Because I come across people pretty frequently whenever I go to church sites, and I didn't recognize her at first, but she was like, "It's me, Lori Hast. I'm the one that the tornado destroyed my home last year." Do you guys remember? Were you watching my channel last year when there was that big tornado outbreak, um, which started in Utah, by the way? And there was one of my subscribers that lost her home. It was destroyed. Thankfully, they've been able to reconstruct it. Like the walls and everything were okay. At least the outside walls. I can't remember exactly what she said, but they've been able to rebuild it, but for a time they weren't able to live in it. I just happened to run into her. And if I had been early, even by like say 20 to 30 seconds, or if I would have been like early or late, if I could have easily missed her. In other words, it was so unlikely that of all people I would run into her. I've only been to winter quarters 2 times. This is my second time. I didn't run into any subscribers the first time. The only subscriber that I've run into out of the only 2 times that I've been there was Laurie. So I feel like that was a miracle as she was going to the temple to do ceilings. If you want to hear our conversation that we had, I'll put a link for this video in the description box below. I found out she used to be our LDS, part of the Reorganized Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, now known as Community of Christ, and she joined our church. But that was a privilege, a blessing, and a miracle to me. Moving here to Independence, that's definitely been a miracle and blessing and privilege, and something I never ever expected in my life. I never thought that I would leave Utah, and then once we did, I never thought that we would leave the Western United States. But here we are, and it's given me the opportunity to do this channel, Explore Church Sites, and become intimately familiar with not just church sites, but sites from these other splinter groups. And then also, it's given me the opportunity to witness events that are happening here. The most recent event is the aurora. And of all places, I got to document it from the temple lot. But I've become very, very familiar with all these sites to the point where I have this spreadsheet, and the link for this spreadsheet is on this channel too. So if you need, if you're planning a visit here, reference my spreadsheet. I have the coordinates, the addresses, what you can expect to see at these different church sites. I also have my map. Oh, here we go. You can also reference my map. The link is in the description box of each video. I've gone to all these places, and I know that there's still more to find, but I'm like really getting into church history. Adam Mondiaman, here's all the different numbered markers that you can see at Adam Mondiaman, and it's been crazy. I moved here in time. I feel like it's pretty clear to me that I was moved here just in time to witness certain things and document certain things. This is just a little bit north of Far West. It's on the same highway. It's literally like a 2-minute drive from Far West. You have the Far West Historical Society and Store, and right next to it is the Elder Charles C. Rich Cabin. It's the only surviving structure from the Far West period. And this year they dedicated it, and they unveiled this new statue of Charles C. Rich. It was a very unique and once in a lifetime experience, and I was able to document it. It was very, excuse me, it was very special. Also, one of the first things I experienced when I got here was the 2025 World Conference of Community of Christ. And this wasn't just any World Conference. This is the one in which they had a leadership change, and they ordained their first prophet president, Stassi D. Cramm, which I was actually making a video about this when I got the news about the aurora. So that's going to be my next video that I put out. I think something significant could be happening right now. Like they put out some really interesting videos this month. And I'll break it down. It's interesting what they have to say. But I was able to be here as they were celebrating that. This is after their conference session, and this was like a celebratory procession from the auditorium down to the temple at the World Plaza. And toward the end there, I got to video her as she was receiving, different members of the church that wanted to congratulate her. And then I got in line, and I was able to meet her and, congratulate her. And it was really great. I think that she represents something good for our church. I think she'll be good for her church. I think she'll be good for our church. That's my opinion. But I got to go in the temple, record in there, see what it's like when it has a big event like this going on. This was the 2025 World Conference Mission Expo. So this was one of the events that went along with World Conference. And then I met, this is a splinter group from the RLDS Church. This is their prophet president, Terry W. Patience, and here I am with him in his office in their headquarters building, which is right across the street from the Community of Christ Temple. He gave me a personal tour of their building, and I'm hoping to maybe go back and do a better video, but he showed me their new sanctuary, which is like a temple space that was dedicated in 2023. It's a new thing in their church. It seems pretty significant to them. Then going back to 2024, the first comet that I've seen with the naked eye since the 90s. This is back when I was living in Kansas. This was, and here's like another picture of it. This was one of many signs in the heavens last year. I didn't take this picture. This was taken by Jessica that lives up in Ohio. When I went up there, I visited with her and her friend, and afterwards, she took this picture at the Kirtland Temple of the Aurora. Here's some pictures that I took down in South Central Kansas. This happened 2 times last year. I saw the aurora twice in South Central Kansas, of all places. It's the first time in my life, and I knew at that point that something is going on when it comes to signs of the times, because I never expected to see the aurora in my life, let alone in South Central Kansas near Wichita. I was able to go to Kirtland and be there for the eclipse, this total solar eclipse that happened the day after conference and the month after the church purchased the Kirtland Temple from Community of Christ, which I don't think that that's a coincidence. I was able to tour the temple. I never toured it before when it was owned by Community of Christ, so I don't have any memory of that, but I feel like I could still tell the difference. The spirit was really strong as I toured the temple, now in our possession and under the ownership of our church. And this was one of the most special experiences of my life. So again, we're talking about miracles, privileges, and blessings since 2022. Here in Missouri, I had no idea that there's this polygamous group. It's not a single denomination. It's like a loose coalition of polygamists that from different denominations that like have formed, it hasn't coalesced into its own church or denomination, but it's organized enough to where they built this temple. This is about, I think it was like 2 hours south of Independence in the Ozarks, but I was able to have this rare opportunity to go and film it. And that was pretty wild. I was able to go to our conference center and record the whole thing and take these pictures. That was a huge blessing. I never thought I'd be able to, be up here and take these pictures, but that's what happened. That was a very special experience. And this was just before General Conference. I was in Utah as when President Nelson passed away. And that was kind of a special thing for me because what are the chances that's when he would pass away? But I was there to document it and talk with you guys in live streams and videos and stuff like that. While I was there, I got to meet Caitlin, my friend with Anticipating Christ's Return. Make sure to subscribe to her. She is such a good friend and she puts out such good content and she's just the best. I was able to visit her. I was able to visit her studio, as you can see, with her watermark down here at the bottom right. That was fun. I've got to meet other social media personalities. This is Stuart Edgington. He has a really large YouTube channel here on YouTube. It's called Stuart Edge. He's a member of the church. I met him last year on my last trip to Utah in 2024, before this one. I just happened to run into him just before coming to Utah the second time. I met him on my first trip to Utah. We were at this social media conference, and he told me that he watches my channel, or at least from time to time he watches my channel. He likes it, which blew me away. And then he just happened to be in Independence a few days before I went to Utah for the second time. He was at the Independence Visitor Center. I was there to record a video because the Independence Visitor Center had repairs done to the roof, and there were all these like pallets out in the parking lot. And I had tried to make that video literally 3 or 4 times before finally doing it this time. And that video got interrupted because I went inside. I realized, I should go talk to the missionaries and ask them exactly what's going on. And as I walked in, he was there. He was talking to the missionaries. For me, he was kind of a symbol, if anything, if there was a symbol of going to Utah, because, every time it costs money. And I'm like, is it really worth it? Should I really go? And so this was like a tender mercy. And so I went and took him to see a couple church sites. This is the 8 Witnesses Monument in Liberty, not too far from Independence. But yeah, last year I got to meet these other people that have Instagram accounts and YouTube channels, and it was amazing. And then last but not least, I've got to meet so many of you, and I don't have pictures of everybody that I've met, but it's just been amazing. Oh, by the way, this is Floyd Gowan. He's the one that took that amazing picture of the solar eclipse at the Kirtland Temple. I'm so glad he sent that to me because that is an amazing picture. Thank you, Floyd. But you guys are just so great. It's so important for me to be able to meet you in person, because you can really get into your own little world and just feel like you're just talking to a computer screen. It helps me connect to the real world and realize that there is somebody listening. Oh, she should have been part of that other group. This is Shayla, LDS Prepper Girl on Instagram. She's amazing. This is Natalie. She's the one that had the breast cancer, and it looked like she was going to die, but it went into remission. That was one of her miracles since October 2022. So it's me and her mom, and we're at General Conference. A family that I met at Adamante Haman that recognized me. Another person that lives here in Missouri, and then just, on and on. And then this is my friend, Justin Fennis. He's from Southern Utah. He's been watching me since the very beginning of my channel, amazingly. And he is so kind, and I love his family. We had a really good time, and he's going to be coming back next year. So I'm excited to now, since that time, I've discovered so many other church sites. And so I want to show him and his family and whoever else comes with him. So I really do feel, that I've experienced miracles, blessings, and privileges, and I want to hear yours. Like, after you watch this video, go to the comment section and read everybody else's, because it's happening. It's happening. I feel like things are accelerating. I don't know how often this happens in Independence, but I'm willing to bet it doesn't happen too often, because if we look at a map, and you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but if we're paying attention to latitude, here's Salt Lake. And so if the line goes like this, Salt Lake is further north than Kansas City is, and Independence. And maybe I just missed it. I don't know, but I don't remember any times growing up where the aurora was visible. I'm sure it's happened, but I feel like it's more on the rare side. And what happened last year with those two times, you were able to see it across the entire United States. At least with the first one. With the first one, all 50 states saw the aurora. In the second one, I don't think it went as far south, but I think still most of the states, except for maybe one or two, saw it, or theoretically should have been able to see it, if weather permitting. So, it's just amazing. It's amazing, and it makes me wonder what's going to happen next. Ever since I moved here to Independence, oh my gosh, it's just been one thing after another after another. Oh, there's one that I missed. Where'd it go? Oh yeah, this. I forgot to show this. My wife and I had this experience where we were at the 8 Witnesses Monument, and we weren't paying attention to the weather, or didn't take it seriously enough. It seemed like, oh, there's chance of marginal weather, and or there's like marginal risk of severe weather. And then it happened, and there was a tornado. There was a tornado that hit Independence, and we took shelter in the Independence Visitor Center. That was like a very rare thing to experience, and it felt very safe. It felt temple-like. This is built to be a temple in the future, part of the 24 temple complex. But that was really special too. It was just a one-of-a-kind thing. Okay, did I miss anything else? No. Okay, so let me hear your let me see the order: privileges, blessings, and miracles that you've experienced. Put it in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching my channel. And I just want to share my testimony that this is going to sound cliche, but I know that the church is true. I really do. And I know that President Nelson was and is a prophet of God, and now President Oaks is a prophet, and we should really pay attention to what he says. I feel like things are going to go to yet another level with him. We've already seen so many things since he became president of the church. It's only November. He just became president of the church last month. And already there's been so much. So I know that it's true. Trust them. Follow the Spirit. Trust them. Stay within the mainstream of the church. Don't go off into the fringes with these weird people, because they will take you away from these true messengers. And I say that in the name of Jesus Christ. And I'll talk to you guys later.